Sponsorship with Living Podcariously or The Twisted 10 is not just about contracts or money. We like to form relationships with those who invest in our shows.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We only like representing companies or products that we can really get behind.
We met Kyle and Bianca from Oak and Iron Photography at an event from another sponsor of ours and immediately bonded with them because, let's face it, they're just awesome people.
Yeah, and if you came out to our Living Podcariously listener event, you may have seen them roaming around, taking some photos for us. They captured so much joy and emotion in those photos that night. It was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Now, Adam, I'm kind of a amateur photographer, so I can appreciate how difficult it really is to capture moments like that.
They shoot events of any kind, weddings, lifestyle photos like maternity, couples, families, you name it. Not only do they capture moments that your grandmama will like, but they also put that Oak and Iron personal style and spin on what would normally be considered traditional photos.
Oh yeah, that Ring of Fire shot from our event was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Their photos not only capture the raw emotions, but when looking at them later, you are transported back to that day they were taken.
You'll see it on their website. They capture, quote, the real moments for the true at heart.
Nice.
Head on over to oakandironphoto.com to check out some of their work. Also, you can click the Contact Us button and get a quote of your own.
Go and check out oakandironphoto.com and let Kyle and Bianca know you heard about them from us.
TMRS 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
Woot woot.
Happy Joy, happy Joy.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to our show. I am Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I'm not hosting this week. Sitting over there.
And I am Tach, and I'm one of the regular hosts, but I also am not hosting this week either.
Yeah.
Over there on the Lady Chase.
Hi, this is Andrea Joy, and of course I'm not hosting because I'm never doing it again.
Jay is no longer with us, and Josh is not in tonight. He's still
Mr. Wilson.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So that means it would be me, Rocky.
Yeah, that's right. Back by popular demand, and
really?
one of our best episodes that we've got for numbers.
Oh, stop it.
Mr. Rocky Socha.
Stop it.
With What's the Fuss podcast, man. How are
That's
you?
me. Thank you so much for having me, man. I love
Hell
this
yeah.
place. I'm glad to be back. I didn't think you were going to be having guests, back for multiple episodes, and I'm glad that I could do that.
Yeah, we went for a streak there. We went where we internally hosted, and it was one of Jay's last episodes. So we kind of let the internal cast kind of take another shot at it, and then we're back onto the guests. We're bringing them back in.
Yeah, I
so
like it.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for having me,
And
man.
you brought a hard list to top, dude. I'm just saying. Last
You already
time,
know about it?
his last list, the Simpsons list.
Oh, you talked about last time. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the
that was fun.
Simpsons,
Man,
Yeah, dude.
I did way too much research for that. for basically 10 facts. I could have done 100. I really could have. And this list is just the same. I had a hard time coming down with what I want, but I loved a few episodes ago you guys guessed the top 10 list with the first or with the 10th number or
where you basically say, all right, number
yeah.
10, and you go through whatever the category, whatever you're doing, and then we try to guess the list.
Exactly. Do you guys want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me. Like I said, I guess we can just we can go right to the chase if you
Sweet,
want.
dude, that
Well,
works.
wait, we have to throw the metaphoric keys and also
that's
talk
right.
about if this is your first time.
You take that. You run with that this week. Pat.
boy,
I won't
okay.
interrupt or I won't add to. How about that? I know it's a first, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell them what we do.
Okay, so if this is your first time listening to the Twisted 10, what
This
we do,
is my first time. Tell me all about it, Tach.
so what we do here is we come up with a original top 10 list, whether it's host created. I mean, well, it's all host create. Words are hard. Host created original top 10 list.
Like top 10 serial killers,
That's a great example.
top 10 ways to peel a banana.
oh wait.
Well, that
hang
one
on.
might not have too much to it.
Can we watch that one?
No hands.
You video that one, Tech.
And what we do is we talk about each thing on the list. We discuss it. We break it down. We put it in a diaper. We slap its bottom. We send it on its way.
Top 10 diapers?
Type 10 diapers, indeed. So now at this point, now that our audience is all caught up, now we have to throw the metaphor keys over to you, Rocky. So are you ready to catch them?
Yes.
Uh-oh, here they go.
Here it comes.
Here goes.
oh,
Here goes.
Lefty.
Oh, damn, he caught those with
caught 'em.
authority.
I got him. I was ready. I caught him last time too.
Did you? Yeah, Rocky may be the only
I know.
guest that's ever caught
Most
him.
people don't catch them. Like,
Let's
oh, I
get hit in
dropped
the
him.
face.
Or yeah.
No bullshit.
Yeah, Peter with Scotch and Good Conversation took him straight to the jaw. Tach's throw was right under there, and just,
Oh, I feel bad for him. I didn't realize. I thought Peter had an arm on him, but maybe
I don't remember if he caught him or not. I don't think he did, though.
I do love his show. It's a great one. You didn't hit the bell.
Oh, that's
There we
right.
go.
The bell.
Oh, there it
you
is
go.
for Peter.
Okay.
Ding for Peter.
All right, guys. So let's go right into it. Okay, so all right, you guys are gonna guess from number 10,
Number 10.
Yes. Oh.
Eddie Murphy.
Right?
Eddie
Yes.
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Well, don't guess yet. Are we guessing now already?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Already?
Yeah, or I mean, I can go into what Eddie Murphy did that made him on the list.
Oh, there you go. Let's do that.
We can do that. All right, so I'm starting off with a killer, an iconic killer. He was basically, he was I guess he wasn't a shock comic, but he was for his day. In the 80s, everybody knew this guy, and he kind of pushed the envelope a lot of ways because so many people heard his specials, Raw, and all this other stuff that he did, and he was... He was kind of a savage. He liked his victims, quote unquote, the people that he would do comedy against. He would really humiliate them, and he would, make fun of his friends for being on welfare, and with the gay thing, he was always prancing around and making fun of that. And he was a great actor, but he really kind of, I think he helped progress. Being able to be funny just for the sake of being funny, and even being mean and being a dickhead, and that's kind of why Eddie Murphy's on this particular list.
yeah.
Any guesses?
I'm so confused.
I
I swear I
got this.
heard
This is easy.
serial killer in there.
No, this is
And
easy.
then victims.
This is
no,
easy.
he
I
was-
know what the list is.
Okay.
I know what the list is.
Okay.
Top 10 dudes celebrity dudes that Rocky wants to bang. That's what this is. I know it.
Black guys.
There might be an alternative name.
Andrea's
to the
going
list.
to get her food out of the kitchen, but she says black guys as she leaves. Racist, do I mean?
Top 10 black guys. It's not that.
Okay.
But
do you think?
You said serial killer?
No, I'm just
Victim?
starting off with like a known killer, a comedy killer.
Oh, comedy killer. Okay,
Like,
all right.
I
got you. Okay, so is that all you have to say about Eddie Murphy?
I mean, I could go on and on.
Well, I don't mean like I'm not looking for facts.
How does he do his laugh? The infamous. Yeah, it's something high. Yeah,
Well, no, I'm not looking for more facts.
yeah. There you go.
I didn't know if like you had more to say.
Oh, I mean, I could-
according to the list, I'm not looking for more facts. or
No, no,
anything.
no, no, no.
Okay, so I didn't want to come back.
Why would I even be bringing Eddie Murphy up, though? Any guess as to why?
The only thing I could think of is does it have something to do with his transsexual thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that brave. Basically, I'm just doing, and I'm not really doing a top 10 because it would be impossible on this subject. Just like when I did the Simpsons episode, there's no top 10 facts. I'm just doing 10 twisted comics.
Nice.
And kind of the reasons that I'm, bringing them up. And of course, you could go on and on with, all the other comics in the world, the Anthony Jeselnik's, the Patrice O'Neill's, the Paul Mooney, all these, comics that really push the envelope. But really, these are just 10, and I just picked these out of kind of the blue because, but you could do this list 100 times over. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing 10 comics that were kind of twisted and push the envelope.
I like it.
Yeah.
While
Oh,
Andrea's beating the dogs off each other. Ooh, that
Beating the dogs off?
Wait a minute. don't edit that out. Wait.
What?
What's she doing?
How? Wait,
were
we're probably like 5 minutes in, market.
They were taking each other's bones. What the-
What?
It was
Taking each
it was
other's
so
bones.
difficult. I,
know what I
I
mean.
saw her like beating him up with both hands. I mean, she was like trying to.
Was she ski poling him?
Wow.
Then
Think
I
about
started
it.
trying to hit you because you could have stopped him. And I'm like,
I was wondering why I was getting
And then you were
hit.
beating Adam. It's weird.
That was funny.
Oh Jesus, we Never mind. Yes.
No, that was great. This is better comedy than anything that I had planned. But Eddie Murphy, he got a lot of people that weren't probably gonna see stand up. He got him to see it, and he got him to see some stuff that was pretty freaking gnarly.
I remember seeing him when I was young. I was probably 12 or 13 when I saw
In a
that special
full
for the
leather
first time.
purple suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Eddie Murphy Delirious was awesome when I was a kid, man. I loved it.
Fucking hilarious.
But what I'm waiting for is for him to come back, at least do like a special, like Robin Williams did. He did this one night come back. And,
You think he's got it in him?
yeah, I absolutely. I heard him on some show like Tonight Show or something. They had asked him like, "Yeah, we're going to come back and do stand up again." And at first he was like, "I don't know." And
Does he write?
Yeah, I probably will. So-
Does he write, or does he sit around and enjoy his millions?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
I'm really wondering.
That's a good question.
I'm wondering if
I think he would. If he came back and did like a one night, like
Oh, he'd sell out. Paulo.
Yeah,
wherever
you know
wanted
he's
to go.
still funny, whatever he's doing. You don't just lose that, you know.
Yeah.
But
we
anyway,
just got to bring the shit and the fucks back.
Oh,
Stop
man.
doing Disney stuff and do like his original shit.
Disney keeps on paying a lot more than Netflix special.
I got
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it's bad. No, it's good that he did that, but he still doesn't have he still has the old him inside. So.
I'd like to see him come back and do another like
probably
trilogy
got a
of
few
something.
dudes inside of him by now.
Ew.
Sorry.
He's that rich. Yes. Yes.
Speaking of gay comedian, no, I'm just kidding. Number 9,
Number 9.
Bill Maher, actually.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I think he's twisted because not only is he pretty mainstream, he's a late night guy. He's got his own show, Real Time or whatever, and he has crazy guests on all the time. He's not afraid of any topic. He hits like religion and politics and all that stuff like that, and he really does not care. He'll talk about it. He'll do whatever. But this dude did a lot of time in the comedy circuit. Like, he's got plenty of HBO specials. He did a long time just in little comedy clubs all over the world. I mean, he's put in his time. And one thing that I really like about him is, although some stuff I agree with him on a lot, and there's other stuff that I'm like, okay, wow.
Which way does he lean? Because I've watched.
He lives pretty left, but he's. I mean, when it comes to certain religions and stuff like that,
Sure.
he's not that tolerant of, especially, like terrorism and extremism, in whether it comes from Christianity or any other religion.
It seems most of those late night guys are very, very liberal to me.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of right wing funny guys out there. I mean, I wonder how would work out. I mean, there's like right wing comedians online. There's like your Steven Crowders and what have you out there. But
Crowder's pretty funny. Yeah, I'll give it to him. He's
But
he's
then
pretty funny,
sometimes I just whatever he's talking about, he lands a little far from the mark as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
and I'm
agreed.
like, all right, I disagree. I see where you're going, but whatever.
Yeah.
But at least he backed up his views on marijuana, and he kind of bit it, on that one. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, did a great interview, and Joe bullied the hell out of him for like 30 minutes, made him late for his flight, and all he was trying to say was, I don't care about weed anymore. But Joe was drunk.
Oh,
Yeah. And he was being kind of a bully. But yeah, Bill Maher, he's a twisted little fucker. He's always willing to get in someone's face, and he doesn't have like an off button. He said some stuff. I believe he just got called out for saying the N-word too, which is
that's a
not where you
no-no.
want to be. But he bangs black hookers all the time and does coke off their tits. And he says it all the time. He's pretty proud of it. So he's not a racist. He's just he just said the N-word.
he's not a racist, but his jokes are.
Well, either way, he's a looks like a cool dude, and I think he's fighting the good
Hell
fight.
yeah.
So that brings us to number 8.
Number
Ocho.
8.
Numero ocho. This is one of my favorite comedians, probably in my top 5, which I did not just do a list of my top
Can we
sequential.
guess? Can we guess who this person is by giving a little bit of?
Oh,
want
but
a
you might
hint?
blow up one of his other numbers.
No.
Oh yeah, let's go with the hint.
Oh, that's
Whatever.
true.
All right, here, let's this one can only be a few comics. Let me just can I say the C word?
Yeah, you can say anything. We don't. The only thing I'd ever edit out is
That's
the
the
N-word.
hint.
Yeah.
And
This person said
Oh,
that, and he was able
Oh, he.
to.
Ooh, I almost said
Oh.
a she. Oh, you gave us
I
2
know
hints.
shit.
Yes, 2 hints.
He gets away with saying cunt a lot.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
Lucy K.
No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Who are you talking about?
No, you can't get 2 guesses.
Oh,
What are you doing, cheater? No, go
Can I
ahead.
give you
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it Jim Jeffries?
It is Jim Jeffries.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
It's Jim Jeffries. Yeah, he's one of my favorite comedians. He just got his own talk show as well. But before that, again, he's done a long time on the road. He's done every country, I'm sure, including Africa. He's got a lot of jokes about South Africans specifically.
I think he's a huge fan of South Africans from what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, he loves, apparently he loves doing blow in the bathroom in South Africa, which sounds like a great time, I guess. I don't know.
No.
But but he was kind of known for a while for his drinking, which kind of unfortunate for him because he felt like he sort of had to keep that, going as I sip my beer.
All of us have been partaking tonight, sir.
Yeah. You know what sucks now? I'll get on a little side note is now that I'm known for partying through my podcast, I've actually calmed down quite a bit lately. And now that I go out places, beers are in my face. People handing me edibles, which is always a good time. It's great, but I'm always Ubering home and then driving back to Sanford or something for my truck. And it's bad. Yeah, but that's a not a great thing to bitch about. Anyways, Jim Jeffries. Speaking of drugs,
wait, Tach, have you ever been palmed an edible because of the podcast?
Have I ever been pumped? No.
You ever been palmed an edible?
What is palm?
I've gotten a
someone
handy.
just
Does that count?
gives you one, sneaks you an edible.
What was his name, Tach? No, it's when somebody walks up
It was
to you and just
Rocky.
like
He
shakes
just
your
said
hand.
that.
Oh, I missed that. Me and Tach were having our own conversation over here. I wonder how we do that in stereo. We split all the channels. And
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it'd be kind of neat.
I hate when our show gets into basically 8 people talking at once.
Cross-
Why they're talking
Cross
and they're all talking
conversations.
and everyone's talking at the
Over
same
there
time and
is
it's just
Adam.
annoying.
I'm not
And
doing
that's
it.
the
Now
thing
he's
is,
not going
I
to do
know,
it. You're
and
no
that's-
fun.
Oh, jeez.
I love listening to ensemble casts like that. I think it's a blast. It's a riot. It keeps me in tune. If
Wait,
it's a one-person show,
ensemble?
it's hard to hear.
Say that again. Ensemble cast.
Yeah, it's
Ensemble.
like 3 or more people.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that.
Think of it like stage acting or something. If it's an or chorus or choir. If it's an ensemble, it's a group. If it's a solo act, it's a solo or pair.
I like that. We have a lot of guests on our show, and it's already a 3-piece, and so it gets a little crazy, especially when the beers start flowing and everybody's vaping. I don't know what everybody has, but some stuff, some stuff gets you stoned, some stuff's just like smelly, crazy.
And it's just a round robin of vapes that are going around.
Yeah, she's a mad scientist over there with all this crazy vapes going around. It's pretty cool, but I don't know how to vape. I've never even smoked a cigarette.
Yeah, I've never done cigarettes, but I love to vape. And by the way, Bucks Tobaccoria might be coming on board, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
Man.
That's pretty cool. You guys got a couple cool sponsors. I still haven't gone to what's the restaurant that you guys are
Salty
always
Fox.
talking about? Oh my God, I need to come over here earlier and then we can go there and eat and then do the show.
I'll give you a
Or
hint.
do the show there.
Yeah, do the show
When you
there.
there's one song that you can play at that bar, and all the bartenders get up on the bar and dance.
Coyote Ugly
Is it-
style.
I don't think it's actually Coyote Ugly because
No,
that's
it's
actually
saying
cliche.
style.
Oh, style,
Yeah,
yes.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Can't remember
From
what it
Tiny
is.
Tim. Now your jalapeno cornbread is ready.
When you go, if you happen to go, or we all go out, I'll have to ask Veronica or Sam, the owners down there, to
I
tell
would
us what
love
song
to.
it is.
I hear
would
you
love to
guys
see it.
talking about it all the time, and I got to get some.
Oh yeah, dude, it's good. Thanks for that plug. By the way, that deserves a plug, though,
man.
Tach.
It does.
Yeah,
Ooh.
heck yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
reach it.
You're slacking on your belt responsibility.
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
I've been trying not to plug too much now that he
Nah,
can't
dude.
do it. What's the Fuss podcast? Go there for all your comedy.
Oh,
gear.
damn. Hold on. I wasn't ready.
You
Go check out our T-shirts, and we just put up a whole new bunch of T-shirts. Okay, sorry. I just
There
wanted
we
to do
go.
that while he couldn't reach us. Get that in PFTmedia.com. Sorry.
you
No, I'm joking.
I do
Now
want
I'm
to.
just fucking
I'll
with
ask at the end of the show, but I do want to ask you a little bit about PFT Media and see how that's going for you guys.
Sure,
so we'll bring that up at
sure.
the end of the show.
Whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. So yeah, Jim Jeffries, great guy. Love him. I think he deserves all his fame. He's a twisted motherfucker, obviously, because he's just not really afraid to hit up topics that most people like. He
Sure.
didn't mind being the anti-gun control or the gun control guy.
Yeah,
He didn't mind, and he knew he was going to lose a lot of people, especially his American fan base that he just tried so hard to attain.
Yep.
And now he's basically, going against something that a lot of people, fought and died for and really do believe in. Whether you believe in it or not, some people feel that way, and he took a serious risk with, losing a lot of fans, and he paid the price, and still he turned up on top. So good for him. Jim Jeffries, great guy. All right. Lucky number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7 is he's got to be in my top 3 comedians ever. I love this guy. He's one of the darkest in the world, and he guesses dark comedian. Dark
Who's
comedy.
really
Do you mean
black?
like he's black or?
No, there's another black guy or two on this list, but not.
Sorry.
Who's the guy from the movie with Rodney Field when he went back to high school?
Andrew Rodney.
Danger Rodney Field.
Rodney Dangerfield. Jesus Christ.
Rodney Field. That's fantastic.
What
does he say?
Oh, no.
Jack Daniels is catching up to me.
Oh, I get no empathy. What does he say? Is that his word?
No respect.
Oh, yeah. I know, but Danger Rodney Field says.
He sounds fine.
Anyway, the guy on that movie with him, like going back to college or whatever it was, the
Back to
professor
school?
that's screaming at him.
Back to school?
He always gets loud.
Oh, Sam Kinison?
Sam Kinison.
No, it's not Sam Kinison, although
it's as dark as I could think.
He could have made this list very easily. He could
Bob
be
Saget?
Bob Saget. That's a great guess.
You know, Tom and Dan have him on occasionally, and that is some of the funniest fucking interview audio I have ever heard in my life. It is gold.
A lot of people thought that his last special, he's got a new one coming out soon, Saget does. But his last one, when it, because I had not heard his comedy like that. I knew that he was dirty and he'd done some cheesy, what I thought, stuff in clubs that I'd seen on YouTube.
Sure.
I thought his comedy special was hilarious. I couldn't. After a while, I wore a hole through it, but at first, I seriously thought it was amazing, and it was in super poor taste, and I loved it. All right, anyways, so number 7. All right, anyways, dark comedy, Doug Stanhope.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, one of
I'm
my
not
all-time
familiar
favorites.
with him.
I don't
Not, you don't know Doug Stanhope?
If I played anything of him right now, you would immediately recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird because he's definitely.
Here, I'll find the picture while Rocky's telling us a little bit.
Sure. Doug Stanhope. He's one of the darkest comedians that there are out there. One thing that he's kind of famous for, a bit that he does, is where he actually assisted in the suicide of his mother, who had cancer, and she was done and she was ready to go, and he fed her a bunch of morphine that he had gotten. That's Doug Stanhope right there.
Can't see him. But...
That he had gotten, and basically helped in her suicide.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's a famous bit that he does, and it kind of talks about how his mom wanted to go, and basically she sat there with her basically Black Russians and swallowed 60 morphine tablets.
Oh.
Yeah, 30 would kill a horse, but she took them all, left none for them to have fun. Every he has a joke and he goes every week or every year we could have popped a morphine and remembered mother, but no, she took them all.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then he goes, and this is how I know God exists, because 4 days later, she bought me a pachinko machine from a Sky Mail with her credit card. How could she have done that if God didn't exist? Meaning he used her credit card after she died to buy a pachinko machine drunk on a plane.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No, she did it from heaven.
Andrea will take the
You
religious
sold
side.
the hell out of that, and you had me fooled. She looked me dead in my eyes. She's like, "Nah, I thought she was gonna."
It's true.
But yeah, that guy's crazy. He attacks Scientology. He attacks religion, politics, all that stuff. He is one of my favorite comics, like I said, and definitely, he's definitely twisted. That's for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
He's got a pretty crazy world perspective, and I absolutely love him. The world's a better place with him in it.
Nice.
All right, and what's our time looking like? Because this is number 6, which will be. You guys do like a little break, right?
Yeah. After number 6, after you're done with that, you're fine. And there are no time. We have to stay under an hour and a half total of that's actual produced time. So that's really about an hour and 45 minutes, which I can chop down if I need to.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, plenty of time.
All right.
We're only 23 minutes into this segment.
Okay.
So, yeah,
well, there we go. Then we're kind of on time.
Yeah.
All
easily.
right. Well, yeah, I rehearsed like a speech, and I'm not even joking. And I even left time for free talk, like we've done.
Nice.
I listened to like probably over the last month 8 episodes, and I'm like, okay, that's enough banter. On to the next one.
Rocky is done
I
doing
know,
some
he's like-
homework and research.
I know. You don't have to try so hard here.
I got yelled at last time that I did your show because I was under the influence. They didn't like that. They didn't like my slurring speech.
Who yelled at you?
Sorry, guys.
Andrea Joy. Great.
Left a scathing review on iTunes, but
Your guys?
yeah, I kept saying and it's something that I was doing earlier in my podcasting and whatever.
Whatever.
I've tried
I
working
usually
on it.
catch all those too. I must have been drunk when I was editing.
Well, I do it. I deserve it because I need to work on it. Just like I just said. But yeah, I try to stop, but Doesn't always happen.
You don't have you don't have something that's noticeable. Like some people will use the word like for I just did over and over and over and over.
Well, when I'm
you'll
drunk,
recognize that.
When I'm drunk, my listeners know and they let me know. So I stayed straight all day today. I'm a little tired from the drive, but I'm in good spirits. All I've had is a cookie. All I've had, and not a special cookie. It was a holiday cookie.
Yeah, Christmas cookie.
A Christmas. It's
or
a Christmas.
Halloween party cookie, something like that. What did we plug?
Halloween.
Halloween and Christmas?
Yeah.
What they get half a bell each, so one bell total.
We did a Halloween shirt. Go check it out on
Every
what's the
time a bell
podcast.com.
rings.
Really?
Okay.
What's on it?
It's me, Etchy, and Bill as zombies, and we're kind of in this graveyard.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's
It's
a
awesome.
super cool thing, and we actually made a hoodie too. And basically, we're gonna put it
Let's
out there.
make a Christmas one.
We
Yeah.
need.
We should.
So
Let's get a trailer and some pink flamingos and be sitting out in like bathing suits because it's Christmas
well,
in
who
Florida.
did your artwork?
RyeTheDesigner@gmail.com is that's his basically his website, but it's my friend Rye, and he does all of my stuff. He did the What's the Fuss logo with the
it's fucking awesome. It's complex. I like it.
I
it's
like it a
pretty
lot.
insane, and I didn't know that that we're gonna be doing this for years and 100 episodes and stuff like that. I had no idea this was just something
Yeah.
I was doing, just an offshoot, and trying to get it done, and it ended up working, and it was a really cool little thing. But Rye does all my stuff, and if you want to. If you need any designs or whatever, I know you guys do your own stuff, but if you like the design and want to hook him up, check him out. He's one of my best
Most of
friends.
all the artwork is for us is done by Tach.
Nice.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
We did have a little bit of help on the finalizing of the girl inside the logo, Kim Kennedy, for our other show for Living Podcariously. But
Yeah.
other than that, just about everything Tach.
Well, Rye also manages my Facebook groups. He
Nice.
does my email, my website. Also, David Lawler from Low Tide Vibes. He does my website as well. You can
There you
give
go.
him a
Damn,
plug.
Tach's not on top of the plug belt.
No.
He's another plug. He's like, what did we talk about? I wasn't listening.
And that's all I'll do. Okay, all right. So number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6.
This is another one of my all-time favorite comics, and he's a crazy, twisted, dark guy. And let's see if you guys can guess this one too. He's known later in life for his roast.
Okay.
For being a really good roaster.
Oh, it's
That would be
Is it the bald guy?
beef cow.
Is he bald?
Great
He is not
roast.
bald. Not.
I don't remember.
I think you're thinking of
He's
Jeff
always
Ross.
there. Yeah,
That's
he's
who I was
always
thinking
there.
of.
I'm not talking about Jeff Ross, although Jeff Ross could have very easily been on this list. He's one of my favorites, and he does deserve it. He's on a list somewhere out there for sure.
One of the best roasts I've heard of all time.
Later in his life, there's another hint. His life was
Martha Stewart.
ended a little short.
Martha Stewart.
No, she's still alive and kicking. She's still
Oh, he's
alive and
dead
kicking.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Got it.
It's Greg Giraldo.
Yeah. Very cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Greg Giraldo. Do you know who he is?
not a whole lot.
No, he was a super funny comedian. He's one of the smartest comics out there. He went to Yale and he was a lawyer at one point and stopped being a lawyer to pursue his stand-up comedy career and still kind of lawyered on the side. Ironically, it was a little weird, but that's
him.
Greg Giraldo right there. And he died of an overdose. Actually, he had he battled with sobriety, drinking, and all kinds of substance abuse. Unfortunately, it happens. And although he left behind a wife and some kids, he did a lot for the stand-up community. Specifically, just saying unbelievably out there shit that made the comedy censors, specifically on Comedy Central, they had to question their own lines. They're
Nice.
like, okay, he didn't say a bad word, but can you say that phrase? He just had some hard zingers that went straight to the core.
It's okay, Bob. Just air it after 10 p.m. We're all right.
Yeah, his roast of Flavor Flav specifically was it was brutal. He said that Flavor Flav looked like Idi Amin after a 3-day crack binge on the sun.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he got really, really mad at Larry the Cable Guy, and basically screamed out in the middle of his roast, "Why are you so popular?" Wasn't even a joke or a punchline. He was just really angry. But unfortunately, yeah, he left pretty early. I think it was in the early 2000s, sometime maybe 2006. I hate that I'm getting that wrong because I love Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
But I missed. I didn't bring my notepad. I only brought my phone notes.
We can work some movie magic. I can insert somebody saying 2000.
Actually, you have it right behind you.
Oh, am I looking for his?
Yeah. But Greg Giraldo, yeah, he was a lawyer and he stopped lawyering. He stopped practicing law to basically just be a comedian. And he was an amazing roaster. He he went on Comedy Central on a bunch of different roasts, and he was known for being basically a hard hitter. And also, they would put him on first a lot of times, knowing that everybody else would had to like really fucking bring you didn't
That's
want.
a good point.
You didn't. Nobody wanted to. There were headlining comics that did not want to follow Greg Giraldo because he was just nasty.
Yeah.
Just
September
nasty.
29th, 2010.
That is when Greg Giraldo unfortunately passed. But he did do a lot for the comedy
Age of
community
44.
and, yeah,
Young
great
man.
guy.
Damn, he was young.
Yeah. Well, he battled with addiction and he lost to that disease. But yeah, he's a great guy, and I think he was a really twisted fuck. He didn't care who he offended, and he would eyeball people. He would like right into their eyeball and tell them the worst thing about him, and then just be like, it's going to be that type of roast, so bring it, motherfuckers. So yeah,
Yes.
that's the first half of my top 10.
That's a great
Nice.
top 10. This top 10 list, Tack, is making me, man, I can't believe I got all those T's right in it. This top 10 list
top
for
10
the
list.
first time, Tack.
You did a great job. You have a voice like buttered
just
sex.
just should have rolled with it. I don't know why I
Buttered
stopped.
sex.
No, but this is making me want to go do research after the show. This is one of those that I want to go now watch everything I can on YouTube
Oh,
or
yeah,
wherever.
This is my
please.
nickname research.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This was a really fun list to do. I did a lot less going through like the other one because this I knew right away that this could go on and on and on. Don't kill myself. And then I had all my friends that knew what was going on criticizing the hell out of the list. So what I had to do was do my list in not in my list of favorites, but how I thought I could keep the flow.
Sure. Yeah,
going,
that's a good point.
Who I wanted to end and open with and do, the same. So,
But basically, what you just made is a comedian's set list, but
Yeah.
of comedians.
yeah,
That's what you made.
Absolutely. You got to save your good ender, but you want to start with, something strong.
Good. Yeah, good strong.
There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
have to say I'm a little judgy over here too. I'm hoping that you say one of my favorites on this list.
Uh-oh.
So we'll find out.
We will find out after the break.
Tack maybe it's number 3.
Teaser.
Maybe. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, Tech, you ever have that conversation with your girl about where to eat dinner and it always turns into that back and forth? I don't know, you pick.
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got an answer for you next time that comes up.
Oh yeah, we're at.
The Salty Fox in Melbourne off of Oak Alley Boulevard.
Oh, nice. I've actually been there, and the food was pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, it was. They offer a great selection of paninis, shareable appetizers, soups and salads, and one of the best desserts I've ever had, the Funky Monkey.
Oh yeah, my favorite was the vintage options. They got this meal called ramen noodle on crack. You just got to try it out.
Done. That's definitely what I'm getting next time.
Put the fun between your legs at the Salty Fox every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with the Oak Alley Arts District Bike Crawl.
It's a 4-mile bicycle ride down Pineapple Avenue with stops for food and beer all along the route. Be sure to visit the Salty Fox every Sunday for brunch from 11 to 4.
Hey, isn't that the $10 bottomless mimosas brunch?
Sure is. Enjoy your brunch while the Salty Fox's DJ spins throwbacks and top 40 hits.
Salty Fox is located in the downtown Oak Alley Art District on Oak Alley Boulevard.
Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/saltyfoxmelbourne or online at thesaltyfox.net.
Hey listeners, be sure to mention you heard about the Salty Fox on our show, and you'll get 10% off your meals.
Village Idiot Pub. You locals know about it. You guys from out of town have to check them out.
Village Idiot Pub is now a proud sponsor with Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10 podcasts.
It's more than just about commercials, though. The cast here will be taking our show on the road to Village Idiot to record some episodes as well as hold events. They have over 30 beers on tap, including ciders and Hefeweizen, my favorite, as well as hundreds of bottle choices.
Adam, you forgot my favorite, all the delicious wine. So get your friends together and enjoy the board games, puzzles, and the giant Jenga.
Let the owner Jason, as well as the rest of the staff there, take excellent care of your beer drinking needs.
Mention either one of our shows to the staff and get 10% off your tab.
Tuesday is open mic, Wednesday is trivia, Thursday is karaoke, Friday and Saturday night are live music.
Visit them at 4 Harrison Street, Suite 103, Cocoa, Florida, or Village Idiot Pub on Facebook. And don't forget, they are a dog-friendly location, so bring your friends, family, and fur babies.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
And I want my favorite DJ to give everybody the word. Who's on the turntables tonight, my son?
Baddest DJ on 2 turntables.
DJ
The skill is extraordinary.
Throw the switch and let us begin.
Hey, it's Adam. If you enjoy the hosts or the content of The Twisted 10, be sure to check out our other show. It's called Living Podcariously. While The Twisted 10 may get crass and explicit occasionally, it holds no water to Living Podcariously. We do get a little bit more rough and raw on that show. We have a lot of fun producing it and have had some awesome guests. And as always, thanks for listening. Welcome back to The Twisted 10. Tonight, a return by popular demand. If you're just joining us, Tach.
Yes. Well, I mean, it is possible now.
Yeah. Mr. Rocky Socha from the What's the Fuss podcast.
Hello,
out of
thank you for
Orlando.
having me back.
Hey, before we start, you guys were in the rankings somewhere for the Orlando Weekly, right? Where'd you guys end up?
I really have no idea. I don't even know how we got on that. It was just one time I saw on the Podcast Mafia, I believe it was. There you go. Someone posted
The nominations?
basically just like a screenshot or something.
Cool.
And then I saw that I was on there. And then I saw that some people were, they kept sending me stuff like the screenshot of their email. Hey, I voted for you. Hey, I voted for you.
Dude, that's awesome.
And we came far from winning.
Tom and Dan are always going to dominate that competition.
Well, yeah, but
We know that.
even, we didn't deserve it. We're not the best. I really don't think we're the best show in Orlando. I mean, there's a lot of great shows there, and I think that we're among the best, which is great. But, I wouldn't want to take the reins from a lot of those guys so early. I don't think it's well deserved.
Sure.
Because I really think that they've worked for it, and it'll probably be a couple years before we get that title if we ever do.
Kind of makes it
And that's
harder
fine
for
with
me to congratulate him, Tach. He's not taking it. He's like, no. It's cool to see you guys on there.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was great to be nominated, and that was wonderful. And it was great seeing our name up there.
We sent our listeners to help out any of the podcast mafia. So you had you guys, the Burn It Down show. Pete was on there. Obviously, Tom and Dan.
Swerby Jones was on there.
That's right.
Scotching a Conversation, you said.
Semantics.
Semantics was on
Semantics,
there.
that's right.
Yeah. There was a few other ones, right? I forget everybody. But yeah,
For our listeners that don't know what that is, the Podcast Mafia is a Facebook group, basically, but it's comprised of podcasts throughout Central Florida for the most part. So from Tampa all the way over here in Cocoa Beach area, and then we've got a few shows that are out of the state, but they're still part of the Mafia. So they're still part of that group. But it's a cool group to go check out other shows at. There's a list on there too, so you can see all the shows.
Yeah, we were actually lucky enough to get an article in Orlando Weekly when they did this podcast thing, and they featured Tom and Dan mainly, and then they had a few other shows. They had Swerby Jones, myself, Oh No Radio Show, and a few other ones or whatever. But right after the Tom and Dan interview, went straight into a What's the Fuss interview.
That's awesome.
And it was the coolest to see basically our names on the same page. We were totally not worthy at the time. I don't even understand how that happened, but it was cool.
What I've learned with podcasting, the production value across most of the shows that I listen to, which is all of ours, is almost the same. The levels everybody has the same style of comedy. So basically what it comes down to is who the listener can more associate with, the hosts and the co-hosts and how they run their shows. That's really the big difference. So individual taste is why all you guys are doing so well. You can appeal to a lot.
Our listeners are they're a wacky bunch, and I contest that they are funnier than us. On the What's the Fuss Facebook group, WTFP group, if you're interested, it's a bunch of sick fuckers.
Oh yeah, I'm on there.
Some people it's just great conversation, and some people are there just to have a good time. And there's we do questions and shirt giveaways and all this other stuff like that, and they're cool. And then some people there are just straight up out of their minds, and it is the funnest thing ever to watch. And I'm so glad that we have our awesome listeners.
Fucking Tach got me the other day while I was at work or connected to work. Tach posted in one of our other friends' podcasts. They're called the page is Bookface. And like Facebook, but Bookface by Beers Up podcast, and those guys are awesome. But their page is basically an NSFW page. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Well, let's back up though. They made Bookface, but then they had to remake Bookface Elite because there was a lot of people that were reporting shit in Bookface.
Am I an elite?
You should be if you're not. I think
saw that video you posted.
That was Elite. I wouldn't post it in Bookface.
Tach posted
because
a video.
once you're in Elite. The other ones are kind of whatever. I'm not getting in that. Like I'm also involved in another group very similar. It's called Sick Puppies, but then they had to make sicker puppies. So now when you see people posting sick puppies, you're like, whatever.
Sickest
I'm in sicker
puppies.
Same with the BDM group, and then it went on to Utopia, and then it went on to, I'm sure it's evolved now.
Oh yeah, it continues to do that.
But the video, did you want to describe the video?
So I'm watching that. So I'm scrolling through. I'm working technically. I'm connected to work, waiting for scripts or waiting for something to happen. It's my excuse. And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I scroll across a video that Tach shared. I'm like, oh, cool. What's this? And it's a girl that starts to take her top off. I'm like, I really shouldn't be watching this, but I can claim I just left that page open. And that's easy. It's Facebook. It's, mostly harmless. It got right to the point where she's about ready to show everything, and then right to gay porn.
Oh my God!
It wasn't just gay porn. It was a gay orgy.
It's about as raunchy as it could possibly get. Not that there's anything wrong with
15
gay.
Dudes.
There's nothing wrong with gay porn, but it's exactly the opposite of what I was watching. So like, what the?
Well, it's funny because
awesome.
because the chick taking her top off is about maybe 7 seconds. But there's about a full minute of like 15 dudes.
And he watched every second.
I actually did watch the entire thing. Because it's like, it's like a train wreck. You're just like, I'm interested, but I'm not interested.
I think the funniest,
I just want to see it.
Is there a girl really in there somewhere?
Should I leave?
No.
I should leave you guys alone.
Don't.
That's why you were trying to get me to go upstairs.
There's a real life version of doing that, and I think it originated years ago before you could do all this stuff on the internet, before everybody was so involved in it. And I think it was Tom from Tom and Dan's younger brother that started this.
Yes.
Basically, you go to Spencer Gifts and you get yourself those dick cards. It's
the playing cards.
Yeah, it's playing cards with male dancers on it, but they're nude models, naked guys with their boners all pointed weird directions, and they're like stuffing it down and doing all this weird stuff with it.
I can make you a deck like that of me for Christmas. What do you think?
The best thing, the prank is basically your friend leaves his wallet somewhere around, and you slide the card into his wallet. So when he opens it in public, he just sees a dude with a boner. And hilarity ensues.
Let me see your wallet, Tach.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen is you try to pay with it. Tom has got story after story of this working.
Yep.
And I can't. Every time it makes me laugh. So if you can pull that off, you're a legend, and send it over to me, because I'd love to see it in action.
All right, we ready to get back to the list?
Yeah, let's do it.
I am ready. You guys want to recap?
Yes,
sir. Please. Give us 10 through 6.
All right, 10 through 6. 10 was the iconic Eddie Murphy.
I can't do it.
Bill Maher was number 9.
Bill Maher.
That's a bad one. Jim Jeffrey. I can't do Australian either. I'm not gonna try. Should I really? Doug Stanhope was number 7. I can't do. And the Greg Giraldo. That's pretty good. That was number 6. Okay, so good. That was my best impression. I should not have done that. I'm gonna listen back to that tomorrow and cry.
He'll edit it to make it funnier.
Okay. I don't think you can make me funnier. I suck. No, but those are my. This is no in no real order. These aren't my favorite in order or anything. These are just 10 comics I thought were crazy, and
Tach, I think number one's going to be Danger Rodney Field. Is that what I said?
Danger Rodney Field.
We're going to go with that.
Oh, I get no empathy. Yeah.
I get no empathy.
God, I gotta look up. I'm going to look up on
That's
Facebook.
what Danger Rodney Field says.
Stop. Oh, stop it. I'm getting overwhelmed now. Like, who was that woman that passed out the other day? The
Andrea Joy after too many wines?
no, the lady online.
Her face is priceless.
God, that was a face for perfect radio. That was
Just
good.
rude.
She just dropped her jaw.
Hey,
Like, what an
that
asshole.
was really rude. What is it? What's his line?
I can't remember.
How rude.
When you woke me up on the couch.
I know what he's talking about. Extremely rude.
Extremely rude. Alrighty. So number 5.
Number 5.
I'm so number 5.
Whoa.
Uh-oh, that's going to come back to bite me later, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Not in the good spot either.
I can't touch his penis anyway, so.
Oh,
You
Lord.
can touch mine.
Touch my penis.
All right. Number 5 is actually my personal favorite comedian. And I love this guy's podcast that he does. This is Mr. Bill Burr.
Yes.
Yeah. He's my favorite podcaster. He's actually not my favorite podcaster. I think Joe Rogan might be. But I do love Mr. Bill Burr. He is... He's twisted for a lot of reasons. I like that, he gets a lot of shit for going out. He does, Conan a lot. He's done Kimmel. He's done a lot of these shows, and he's got some out there views on feminism and this and that and whatever. And he's never really afraid. He always, if a crowd goes silent on him, he fully just sits there and takes it and he goes, what are you going to do? Like he just stands there behind, behind whatever he said. He'll just own it. One of his most iconic moments was when he faced a crowd in Philadelphia, and he's not a huge Philly fan. He's a big sports guy. He's from Boston, and I don't know why that's important, but anyways, he went up to this crowd in Philadelphia, and he railed on them. He read them the riot act for an hour. He didn't tell any jokes. He just said, fuck you, your teams are horrible, I hate you guys, I hope you all over drink tonight and crash your cars on the way home, and da-da-da-da-da, and he does not stop for close to an hour, the better part of an hour. He is just ripping them
That's
a new
some
one.
Andy Kaufman shit right there.
It really is. Andy Kaufman could have easily made this list. Don't think I didn't consider him too, because I love Kaufman, and that's who I think of when I think of pushing the envelope.
Oh yeah,
this is technically 10 comedians that push the envelope. I don't know how you want to spin it, but Kaufman was amazing too, where he would commit to these
long-term bits.
Oh, absolutely. And Bill Burr does this too. And one of the reasons that he's my favorite comedians is he does this podcast in which he does them like twice a week, and sometimes he does them live. He does live podcasts. He does Joe Rogan a lot and all this. He's funny every 5 minutes. He's not just funny for an hour a year. Where he's got a stage bit or whatever.
Sure,
he is funny all day, every day, from the moment he gets up. I've heard stories of him on planes, and he just never turns it off. He's fighting the good fight from like first thing in the morning.
Awesome.
Yeah, and now I think he's working with, it's not College Humor. Who the hell is it? Funny or Die?
Funny or Die?
I don't know. He's working with someone now and doing another podcast. He's doing a lot of good stuff. Also, F is for Family. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
He's got a Netflix thing, F is for Family, and I think it is hilarious. And I don't have a lot of time, to sit around and watch cartoons and stuff.
Sure.
I watched both seasons of his binge style, and I never do that.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you,
I sent him an email. Actually, he responded. It was basically a no, very polite no. But I emailed him. Actually, I emailed both Bills on your list so far, and I think I got a response from both of them. I know I got one from him though. But he basically said, "Yeah, hey man, sounds like a great show, but thanks, I just don't have it in the time, or contracts won't allow it, or some shit like that, where he couldn't host a Twisted 10.
Yeah,
that would have been cool though.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
You said it was from him. I'm like, oh, that's
maybe
cool.
someday, because he's done a lot of Opie and Anthony, another iconic duo that I absolutely love. Opie and Anthony.
Their clout's a little more than ours, Tach.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah. but you know, like they paved the way for a lot of what we do.
Yep.
Goofy comedy style, like radio, like this. You know, they were fighting for this a long time ago, and they had the most hardcore, you know, fans around. But Bill Burr's done a lot of cool stuff. I know that he's done a lot of different podcasts. He's done the Burtcast. He's done Rogan. He's done, I think he did Tom Segura's podcast, Your Mom's House.
Yep, that's cool.
I'm not sure if he did that or not, but anyways, he's done a lot of it. I think one day he'll probably come around.
Oh, that'll be cool. That'd be a blast, man.
I know that he doesn't like doing demands. Like he wouldn't do Hot Ones. Have you guys seen Hot Ones?
No.
It's an amazing show. It's on YouTube mainly, and it's this guy Sean Evans, and he has awesome guests coming in, and he eats spicier and spicier wings. He does 10 wings, each one spicier than the next, until they get into some serious heat that like you have to sign waivers for at Tijuana Flats and stuff. And it like the questions get crazier and the wings get hotter, and it's really awesome.
Oh,
but
my God.
He said no to that, even though he likes wings. He's like, I don't want to put myself under any undue stress. I don't care. I'm big enough. I got my mortgage. Fuck you. You know, he just had a daughter. He's just over it, you know?
Yeah.
And I respect him for it, but he is a fucking twisted as hell comic, and I love hearing him. And go check out his podcast.
Andrea just started watching Amy Sedaris's cooking show. You seen the previews for that or the?
No.
What, oh, dude, it's hilarious. It is funny.
On True TV, At Home with Amy Sedaris.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's funny as fuck on
Yeah,
that.
I got rid of
It's
TV.
good.
We just got the internet now. We don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have time to sit around and watch TV. All right, number 4. This is kind of cheating.
Number 4.
Number 4.
It's kind of cheating. This is a duo.
Okay.
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 It's a duo.
all right.
Duo.
If you can think of shows on TV right now, long lasting, not The Simpsons. I already did The Simpsons. I made sure to leave them out.
Oh,
but not The Simpsons. Shows.
Law
like,
and Order.
Think of that. Something like
Law and
that.
Order,
That
yeah.
are really pushing the envelope comedy wise and have been for a couple of decades.
Politically or
Oh, man.
racy?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
A couple of decades.
And it's a duo. That we're thinking of a duo.
Yeah, it's a duo behind this series that has been lasting for decades and pushing comedy.
American Idol. Oh.
Ooh,
Comedy.
nope.
Oh, American.
I can't even think of a show that's lasted decades.
Decades.
Still on now?
Yeah, on Comedy Central. Still now.
Oh, Comedy Central.
Yeah.
American.
Like The Daily Show?
Ooh, no, but I do, you know what? I did consider Jon Stewart for this list. This is a duo that's doing a show that's been going on for decades on Comedy
That's two
Central.
people.
I don't have.
Oh, wait. Is it the Magicians that are also a comedian?
No,
Penn and Teller?
South Park,
Penn and Teller?
guys.
Penn and
South
Teller.
Park.
Oh, South Park.
Oh,
Trey from
yeah.
South Park.
God, a moron.
But those are cartoons.
Jeez, you have to call me a moron, Tach.
Well, yeah,
Hurt
but
my feelings.
I mean, they are pushing comedy technically. And,
Oh, yeah,
and see,
yeah.
I got a lot of hell. Don't think that you're the only person that mentioned that. I had another buddy of mine, a listener of my show, that was over at the house and got this list.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You cannot throw these guys on there with the likes of Bill Burr and Stanhope and all this other stuff."
Well,
but as far as pushing the envelope in comedy, these guys are the reason.
Yeah,
that-
and your list isn't only stand-up comedians.
Yeah,
it's
it's just-
men who push, or well, comedians who push that envelope.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
And
stand-up.
if it weren't for the guys on South Park, I mean, the reason that
We wouldn't
can-
have Family Guy. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have,
yeah,
I mean, the reason that they can say so many crazy things on air is because of the stuff that they couldn't show from South Park. They would push the envelope so far knowing they'd say no to that, and then they'd get away with what they really wanted. They'd get away with murder.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, so they would ask for, the craziest thing in the world, knowing that the real scene that they wanted to get by could scoot by under the radar now because they just asked for.
They are straight up presidential acting this, or whatever it is. What am I trying to say? Pushing amendments on bills that they're sending through Congress. You think you're signing something to help old veterans? Nope, you're really giving banks 10% more interest in their income.
Next thing
each
you know,
year.
Robert Redford's drowning in shit. That's exactly how the show goes. I love these guys, and not just because of South Park, but Basketball is my favorite
Baseball
movie.
is so fucking
nice.
It's
funny.
my favorite movie.
See Orgasmo?
You know what? People, I have seen Orgasmo. It was a long time ago. I haven't seen it since. I got a shitty copy on Fire Fire Stick, and I didn't even want to watch it that way. I would love to see that. If anybody could send me a cool link to What's the Fuss Podcast at gmail.com, you can go ahead and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broke up a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so no, but I do love Matt and Trey because all the twisted shit that they've done on the show is the reason that now comedy kind of can stretch its legs in this environment. You know, the PC thing. You know, they've annihilated that.
Yeah.
That's just out the window. They do not care who they offend. They have gone on, you know, against murderers and sex offenders, and they're just not afraid. Tom Cruise they've taken on. Scientology.
Yes, Mr. Scientology himself.
Did you watch the documentary on them about how they do the show?
Wow, I was floored.
Right?
I loved it.
Holy shit, that was so good.
And believe it or not, in the history of South Park, they've only scrapped, well, in America, they've only scrapped there. They've only not been able to, they only haven't done one show on time.
Really?
And that was due to a power outage. And other shows like, all right.
Well, did you, first of all, before you go on, did you see the documentary? Did you guys?
No, I didn't watch the documentary. No.
Oh man, it was great.
Oh, well, what it is like, these guys produce the show weekly when it's on. Like once it airs on Wednesday nights, I think that's like maybe the only break for the week is when that show's on. Like they don't even have a script or anything for the next show.
They don't do anything Thursday, so they come in Friday and they start working on the next show. They don't know what it's going to be yet.
No idea.
That's cool. So, and I like it that they do certainly tie in some, you know, timely, non-ever.
That's why it's so topical because it literally comes out days after anything happens, you know. And like they were even talking about like when a new season's about to approach, they'll catch promos, you know, all new South Park on Wednesday, and they're like, we don't even have a fucking show yet, and the promos are out. We have like 4 days, and we have no show.
And everybody know. And here's the thing. And when have they never not delivered? They're putting this is going to be the greatest season ever. They don't even have one show, like you said. And still, what happened? What did they do? They knocked it out of the park
every fucking
again.
week, man.
They knocked it out of the park.
They kill themselves for the whole season, and then once the season's over, they rest.
They really do, and
That's
they're
crazy.
absolutely insane. And so again, basketball is one of the movies that I don't know if you guys do this, but at the end of the night, when I'm done, I turn my phone off and I'm ready to go to bed. I'll put on a movie just kind of as background noise because I can't just turn the lights off.
Sure.
And my brain shuts off. I can't do that.
I use earbuds. Since being in the desert, I always go to sleep with earbuds in. It's weird.
See, I need something kind of going on. I've got to have a little bit of time to calm down and then not thinking about anything except for basketball. And Clerks 2 is another one of them.
Basketball was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I don't think I've actually ever seen that.
Oh my god! Do yourself a favor and go fucking watch basketball.
So
all right.
Funny.
I think I see what comedy we're going to be watching later, babe.
Funny. It is absolutely great.
It might be a dude comedy kind of a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Think Andrea wouldn't like it? Does it have Disney princesses in it?
No.
Definitely not.
Uh-oh.
It does have Victoria Silvstedt, Playmate of the Year.
She's a
Talking animals.
She's a princess. Ooh, do they have talking animals? That gets her every time.
No.
Didn't they do something with talking? Well, I mean, their first show, they have talking animals in South Park all the time. You know, the crazy
That's
bloody
cartoons.
creatures. Yeah.
That's not funny.
She got burned by cartoons. It's hard for me to ever watch Family Guy because her ex-boyfriend used to watch it.
You star in a cartoon. How could you not?
I never said what he just said.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the Family Guy because that bit has nothing to do with anything else.
Does that have to do with an ex-boyfriend?
What does it do with your ex? Do you not want me to air that?
Every cartoon ever.
I don't like a lot of stuff because my ex has played them out.
Oh my gosh! So all I can think, if I hear it, it just.
Yeah, there's some stuff that I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of over it. You know, I wanted to like it, but no. But anyways, all right, let's move on.
Weird.
It's not. It's just you've had enough. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I never said you were weird, beautiful.
All right, number 3.
Talking to Rocky.
Number 3.
Numero 3. Is actually Bill Hicks. I don't know if you guys know this guy, Bill Hicks.
Oh, can I guess
Is
Bill
he a
Hicks?
politician?
Oh,
Can I guess Bill Hicks?
go ahead.
Bill Hicks?
Yeah. Oh, can you guess Bill Hicks? I thought you meant guess who he was. No,
Guess who he is?
Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks was a comedian back in the 80s, and he actually started doing comedy when he was 16 years old in Houston, Texas during the 80s, which was not an easy place to cut your teeth. Yeah, this is not an easy place to cut your teeth in Texas. You know, when he's doing political humor, he did a lot of stuff about religion, but way before people were doing this, and did a lot of stuff about basically the government and politicians and all this stuff like that. This guy was amazing. His jokes were far ahead of his time. And this guy, I mean, he was a comedian's comedian for sure. A lot of people liked him because, you know, the crowds would turn on him because he was in Texas, he was in the South, and he was saying stuff that they did not want to hear, and he did not give a shit.
Nice.
He would scream louder. You know, he would really get in people's face about you know, whatever he was doing, and I don't want to give away any of his jokes. So go check him out if you want to. Absolutely crazy guy. He's got a lot of stuff out there. And a weird thing about him is a lot of people think that he was murdered by the government.
He wasn't.
I mean, my brother seriously thinks it. My brother seriously believes it because although this guy smoked for years and years and years on stage, like constantly chain smoking, he developed pancreatic cancer and in like less than 2 years died. And
Pancreatic cancer does take you quick, though.
I know,
that's for sure.
I know, but a lot of people thought that the government just like took him down for all the stuff he was saying. But Bill Hicks, absolutely amazing guy.
God, there's another one. I'm gonna go watch all the YouTube videos I can find on.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, yeah, Bill Hicks, he basically, like I said, developed cancer early and died at 44. But, you know, he was an everyday smoker. But, you know, that all being said,
that is our second comedian on this list that has died at the age of 44.
Really? Greg Giraldo died at 44 as well?
44.
I thought you said 46.
44.
Wow. Okay.
I'll go back a couple if you want me to check. It's in my history.
Yeah, a lot of people think the government tried to silence him, and bless you. But a lot of people think the government tried to silence him. The jury's still out. Either way, he was a crazy, amazing performer, and I really like this stuff. And he's my brother's probably favorite comedian, and he's just an old school guy who told it like it was, and it could have costed him his life.
Is your brother really into conspiracies and stuff?
Sometimes.
Does he believe the Earth is flat?
No, I don't think he believes the Earth is flat.
Is he salivating like every other conspiracy nut out there over these JFK files that are about to drop?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that. I know that he did go to school, although he is a stone cold atheist, or he says he's a Buddhist. He did go to school and he studied the Quran, the Bible, the Old Testament, and another religion.
Big theology student.
Yeah, studied all of this, and he thinks every ounce of it is horseshit.
Wow.
That's why.
I was
he
like,
built up his arsenal.
I was like, why'd you spend all mom's money on this college degree that you think is horseshit? You could have just read it. He didn't do anything with it. He does something else.
I can't wait for this. So Trump was trying to release all those files to declassify.
I thought they were already declassified.
No, there's still 200,000 documents that are not been declassified yet. And the tombstone date for the declassification came up. It's been so many years. So the Freedom of Information Act, I think, is what mandates those to be released. Well, the CIA and FBI both have requested President Trump give them 6 more months on the documentation after 70 years or 60 years
What's
or however
going to
long.
happen in 6 months? So I don't know. I'm just trying to do Trump.
But he still has said, according to Trump, he's still going to release it, mostly unredacted. They said the only parts that they will have redacted are anyone still living now. But they won't have any mention of them in any of the documentation.
Did you see the guys post that picture from Hysteria 51? Here's a picture of one of the documents. He said it's fun to research JFK and everything's just blacked out, except like maybe 2 words in the whole document.
I did see that. I saw a few different ones, and people were putting their own words in there. Like one of them was like the only words in there were like taxation is theft. Or like they'll put in their own little mantra. I thought that was a funny little meme. There's been some good memes out there. My favorite meme lately, and I know it's topical, and I hate putting too topical stuff into podcasts because it's not funny in a few months.
Sure.
But the Kevin Spacey thing is going on right now.
Oh yeah.
And the funniest thing that the funniest meme I've seen in a while, it's a picture of Kevin Spacey, and it looks like he's walking up a movie theater aisle with some food in his hands, and he just says, "Move, I'm gay."
Yeah.
Nice. I thought it was hilarious. All right. Anyways, on to number 2.
So
Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, I haven't heard my guy yet.
Your guy.
Remember, I said I have a comedian that I hope is on your list.
We have 2 guys left, and they're both pretty old school.
Okay.
But who's your person?
I don't want to say it yet.
No?
Let's go through the next one, then
Okay, and then
after number 2, then we'll battle it out.
all right. Well, number 2 is George Carlin.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Let me guess.
Who is it?
George Carlin?
It is George
I was
Carlin.
just gonna say George
Yes.
Carlin. Damn it!
He was on a really
Mr. Seven
funny-
Deadly himself.
What show was he on with Thomas and the Train Engine or whatever? That old.
Thomas the Train.
I think that's what it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Thomas
Yeah.
the Train? Well, he was on that show too. But he went on to be a pretty out there comedian. And one thing that he's known for is the 7 words you can't say.
7 deadly
on-
words,
The
yeah.
7 words you can't say on television. Does anybody know what those words are?
Well, fuck, shit. Fuck, shit, cunt, motherfucker, fuck. Well, I already said fuck.
You can't say fuck.
Goddamn.
Fuck
I don't think.
husband.
Is
How do you
goddamn one of
not say them in order? They were
them?
in order.
Yeah, I know they're in order. I don't
He
remember.
can't remember anything.
Do you have any?
I can't
Thanks,
remember
baby.
all of them either, but go
All
ahead.
right, any Blink 182 fan will know this
Oh, good
because
call.
they did a song basically where they just they did the words of the 7 words you can't say on television, and they are shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker.
You can't
there
say
you go.
piss.
You couldn't say piss or turd at the
At
time.
the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Turd.
Yeah.
Hey man, I don't know. It's a weird world out there. You
What
can
the
still
hell,
beat your
turd?
kids. It
This
was
was
crazy.
this was
But
pre
your kids
9/11.
are turds.
Listen, when I'm talking
You know
about
what?
back when people were writing with feathers.
What may be more important to say is this was pre nip slip of Janet Jackson.
For
FCC.
sure.
Now the
Pre-
FCC is a
9/11,
little
yeah.
different, but
This would have been when it was still kind of a big deal to have like a color TV in your house, maybe even.
oh wow,
No, it couldn't have been that long ago.
Not that
Maybe
long.
I put him
no.
late,
This was
late
in the
70s.
80s. Never mind.
Early
Okay.
80s.
I was a little out of turn on that.
It's the 70s.
But he did do some amazing HBO specials and a lot of comedy specials. He was a comedian's comedian. A lot of
Yeah.
people like this guy because apparently he was a soul off stage. He was cool to hang out with, like a Willie Nelson type, I guess, behind
Yeah.
backstage. That's from what I hear. Other people have different stories, but I like to think of him as a really nice older guy who really cared about he saw the threat of PC culture coming a mile away,
absolutely.
and he was trying his best to push the envelope back and not let this happen. And one thing he really believed in was the First Amendment, and one thing that he really believed in was again, being funny for the sake of being funny, for the sake of being a dick. Nothing's off the table. You can joke about this because that's what we're doing. We're joking.
George Carlin is one of the most quotable men, irrelevant of comedian or not, one of the most quotable men in the world.
Really?
He's got more quotes out there that people reshare and publish because it's in his writing, it's in his bits that he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
And they're often very politically driven or very economically driven or what have you. But they're fantastic. Just do yourself a favor. Do a search. Man, that came out all drunk. Do yourself a favor. No,
I'm
do
the
a search. Oh, she's still giving that grudge. Man, I'm sorry.
my arms are getting tired from holding all these grudges.
Do that search, George Carlin quotes, and just spend a good 20 minutes because there's so many of them. They're
20
great.
minutes of them.
Oh, dude.
You
they're-
can't tell me what to do.
Well,
My body, my choice.
he was one of my favorites to when I was doing this list. He was one of my favorites to revisit and stuff because I knew that. I mean, he was on the original list that I did of like 30 or something like that, and they were just a bunch of comics that I thought were weird and just kind of that I thought were kind of important to talk about now. And when I went through the George Carlin stuff, it really brought me back because that's some of the first comedy I ever heard.
The nostalgia kicks in hard.
So
Yeah.
that's what I thought you had to do was offend. That's what I thought we were doing. I thought we were bridging the gaps,
Yep.
and he was not afraid to do that. And then, as other types of comedy became popular, I was like, no, this is the good stuff, guys. We already know what works. Don't, let's not go back in time. But anyways, I think he was ahead of his time. I really like what he did. And I definitely thought he was a weird guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Hell yeah.
All
All right, so okay, we only have one left. This is the last one.
You want to take a guess at it, Tax? See if you guess it.
Oh, do you want to say that now?
Oh yeah, number one.
Nah.
I don't know if no, I don't want to take a guess.
Oh, come on! You can't build it up and then drop us like that. Anticlimactic. Come on, buddy.
Well, who's your guy? We don't have to go into this. Who is your guy? We can talk about him too.
We can say number one again if it makes you feel better.
Okay. All right. I was hoping to hear Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, you know what? Mitch was definitely on the original list. I loved him, but I figured
It It was a different kind of envelope he was pushing.
Yeah. Well, and also, unfortunately, even though he was on Comedy Central, and I think he did an HBO thing. I don't know if I may be talking out of turn. Oh, I would have loved if he would have lived to get into the podcasting. Same with Greg Giraldo. I would have loved to hear him on different podcasts and stuff like that. But Hedberg, he's awesome. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Can you find out how old he was when he passed away?
Mitch Hedberg?
Yeah, he was young. He was definitely younger than 44.
I don't think he was 40. Yeah.
I don't think he was. I think
might
he
have been late 30s.
30 at the most. Or, well, no. Late
he
30s.
must have probably about
36,
36
at the most.
36, 37.
I meant 30s at the most.
What's kind of pissed me off too is that I was living in Jacksonville at the time. And I saw that me and my buddy were huge, Mitch Hedberg fans.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy shit, he's coming to fucking Jacksonville, dude. We're going in April. Fuck yeah. And then all of a sudden, a couple months go by, and I was like, well, let me look up these tickets. And then I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, where's the show? And I was like, oh, he just
That's how you found
away.
out?
That's how I
37.
37.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
he was a little older than I thought. I thought he was somewhere in his mid-30s, but yeah, you call it.
And so, he was just a couple months away from coming to Jacksonville. And I was
Yeah,
fuck.
you know what? He did a lot of colleges and stuff like that, and I remember seeing him kind of dozing in and out of a set and killing it at a college, maybe in Austin or something. I could be wrong on that, but he's dozing in and out off heroin, and he's still killing the crowd. It was so funny. But yeah, so my number one.
Ooh, number one.
Sorry, it's not Mitch Hedberg.
Said number one.
Well, but we said we'd say it again because Tach felt he spoiled the number one.
Well, it's my
said
man
before
Richard
that.
Pryor.
Oh, yes. Richard Pryor.
Yeah, Richard
course,
Pryor. The only reason that he's number one on the list is because he's just one that I wanted to kind of end off talking about. This dude embodied comedy to me. I thought this guy lived and breathed it because, when he was off stage, he was setting himself on fire, trying to do crack. He was just, he had the best stories. I loved the way that he tackled racial humor.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking loved it. I was rolling every time that I've ever heard Richard Pryor talk, I've almost died laughing. Are you guys fans?
I'm a huge fan. So he did something that was remarkable to me in, I don't remember where I heard this story so Tom and Dan, I'll give them another plug. They do interviews with comedians a ton of times.
Yeah.
It might have been through one of their interviews that they did with not Richard Pryor, but with another, obviously not, but with another comedian.
Yeah.
So what Richard Pryor would do in New York,
They did do
in
Charlie
LA.
Murphy.
What's that?
They interviewed Charlie Murphy, I think. Yeah.
What Richard Pryor would do before he was popular, before he became, sought after, is he would literally guerrilla market his areas that he wanted to go perform. So basically he would hire his family or friends or whoever to call these places long distance, like from New York to wherever the hell he lived, asking these club owners, hey, do you guys have Richard Pryor dates yet? And the club owners, of course, haven't heard of him. Like, no, I don't know who you're talking about. Guerrilla market, hit him again and again and again and again over the next 3 months. And then he shows up in town and he walks in and walks on stage. It's just, he doesn't have to book anything because the buzz that he generated, fake generated for himself. And that got him more popular. And then his comedy obviously just took him where he needed
Kevin
to take
Hart
him.
had a similar strategy. He used that with email. He would, he'd get everybody's email and he'd bug people and send them out or whatever, and creating all this buzz that wasn't there, and then kind of all of a sudden when he showed up, it seemed like a much bigger deal, and now, it turned out to be. But yeah, Richard Pryor was an amazing guy. I thought he was the funniest dude in the world. And I loved his stand-up specials. He was incredibly honest. He'd been arrested several times and he'd talk about it for tax evasion and drug use and again, setting himself on fire. One time he shot up his own car. His wife was trying to leave him and his joke was, you ain't leaving in that. And he just shot a bunch of bullet holes in his own car and the cops came, arrested him. And he was never afraid to talk about his own life. And one thing I liked about Richard Pryor, one of the many things I liked about him was in his honesty. I think he would really get almost everybody in the crowd. Like almost everybody could relate.
Yeah.
They could be like, I felt that stupid once, or I did that. I did something like that, or I can relate to feeling that way. And, I think, he was one of the first people, especially being a black dude. Nobody cared. and he started off in the 60s doing a lot of racial comedy. One of my favorite jokes that he ever did, he goes, I grew up in a house with 11 kids. No parents, just kids.
Damn.
And I loved it. It was such a funny thing. He was such a young man, but that's my number one.
That's a great number one.
Yeah, twisted comic.
Yeah, that's for sure number one.
I really liked him, and I just thought he deserved number one on the list.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's a great fucking list.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's a really good list. Yeah.
I love it.
A round of applause.
Thank you.
I connected with about 8 of those, and 2 of them I'm going to have to go and watch some YouTube videos to really learn their style. I know I've heard of them, but they're not that memorable to me, so I have to go and look at them.
My favorite going back was definitely Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
Because I sat and I'd heard his roast before. I'm just laughing thinking of it now. I've heard his roast before, but going back and hearing all of them, there was times where I must have sounded like a lunatic in my car, going back over this stuff. I was just howling, listening to him, and this is definitely a fun list to make, and I'm so glad that you guys would have me back on the show.
Yeah, dude, of course.
Anytime, man.
You can
Hell
tell his passion. So even with
Oh,
The
yeah, I love
Simpsons,
it.
the
I love
passion is there, and what makes a good list, irrelevant of the topic. I don't care if you came in here to talk about spoons. If you're passionate about it, then that's going to relate through your show. And damn, dude, you were very passionate about that
Thank
list.
you
That's
so
good.
much, man. I love this show. I really do. This is another one of those. I don't get to listen to every podcast that I want to. A lot of people send me in stuff, and I'll give it a shot. And I love doing promos and going on other podcasts. But this one specifically, this is one that I can sit around and listen to, because I mean it's almost updated every couple minutes. You're talking about something new. It hits points, and I just love the show.
Cool. Well, thank you, man.
Thanks.
That's
That's
nice. Oh, that's sweet. We're all 3 blushing over here. Hey, Josh is driving over here. He doesn't know why. He just blushed too. He's not sure. He's like,
Mr. Wilson.
His
Mr.
ears
Wilson,
are burning.
yes, Mr. Wilson.
I think we should be able to punish him every time he says the wrong name.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just
Like
our
throw a
ongoing
rock
bit.
at him or something.
A rock? Why are you throwing a whole country at me?
How about if he says,
brother.
if he says,
That was a
Josh,
dad joke.
I gotta touch his dick. If he says, Mr. Wilson, you can touch his dick.
Wait, what?
Wait, it's gonna have you touching my dick a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
So where can our listeners find you?
Very good.
That's mine.
You can find me personally on Facebook, Rocky Socha, ROCKYSOCHA. But if you want to check out the Instagram or the Facebook or the Twitter, just look up What's the Fuss Podcast, and it'll be there. And if you go to what'sthefusspodcast.com, the best way that you can kind of keep our ship sailing is by grabbing a shirt or something like that. And of course, laughing along with the, we just did our 100th episode. It was really funny. Go check it out. Thank
That's
you guys
awesome.
so
Nice.
much. Also, we have, I'm on PFT Media. We have a bunch of shows on there. Go check that out too.
Yeah. Well, so give me just a quick rundown of PFT Media and some of the shows, because I know you guys have been working on like making that network a stronger and bigger thing.
Man, it was not easy. It really wasn't easy. We have got a lot of talent on PFT Media.
Hell yeah.
Basically, Steve Etchie from Tidbits, and also he's my producer on What's the Fuss Podcast.
Yep. Only guy I haven't met on from your podcast yet.
Really,
Yeah,
I'll have
never
him
met
in next time because he loves your show as well.
Oh, cool.
He's a podcast fanatic.
Is he?
Yeah. He's also been doing this over a decade. He's been doing this longer than Tom and Dan.
Yeah. He's been in it a while.
yeah,
I remember. I hear you guys talk about that all the time on there.
Yeah, he did Answer Pants. He's done a whole bunch of shows that aren't around anymore. Long ago, he gave me my start 100%. I'd never had a show before, and he completely let me take the reins and do it. And now,
That's
it's
awesome.
Yeah. But Etchie and Chris Crespo from Cinema Crespediso,
Yes, sir.
another great show on PFT Media. They kind of put their backs together, Forrest Gump style. And, I'll get your back, you get mine.
Yep.
And, they basically started, branching out. We have a ton of awesome shows in Orlando. And basically this is just we made one big network where you can just go there. All the shows are there all the time. We just got Lady Raptastic from SBK.
Nice.
So we just got her to do a podcast on it. It is a really eclectic group. There's trivia shows, there's music shows, comedy
Simon
shows,
Time, right?
Simon
Time's on
Time
there?
trivia.
Yeah.
I did the first episode. The pilot, I guess.
Nice.
And it was, not only was it fun, it was a trivia show. It was really good. Not only was it fun, I learned a lot, and also I kind of made an ass of myself. So go check that out.
All right,
Simon
good,
Time does a great
good.
job.
I have for our Living Podcarously show, Tach does our segment on there called It's Game Time.
Yeah.
And almost every week, okay, maybe he skips one or here every once in a while, but he brings a game to the show, to the podcast. What I was thinking is maybe giving him a week off some of those times. I got a guy with the radio voice, the guy that does it. I mean, he's here in Brevard.
Pablo Francisco?
No, I'd have to look his name up again.
I'm joking.
But he does trivia, and that's his gig. He goes around town and sells trivia shows to the bars, and it's like a musical gig. They
That's
pay
awesome.
him.
Yeah.
And he has the fucking great voice for radio. So I asked him, I said, hey, because he does it at Village Idiot, at our sponsor. And I said, hey, you want to come and do it on the podcast? He's like, Adam, last time you were here when you were drunk, you said it's the exact same thing. You want it for Living Podcarously, right? I'm like, holy shit, I'm busted. So we're going to have him in here when Tach is ready for him to take over that Game Time segment. Just for
hear that.
that one
Take
week.
over?
Just for the week.
Just for the
It's
just for the
replace
one
you
episode.
Just like that.
And we've got a girl coming in that's taking over the Guyry. I don't know if I told you that either.
Bullshit.
But anyway.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
So PFT Media is doing good, man. That's cool to hear. I
Yeah.
share out your guys' stuff every once in a while when I see it. And I happen
Yeah,
to be on
thank
there
you
long
so
enough.
much, man.
Yeah,
We
dude.
got a lot of great feedback from it. Again, our listeners are amazing, and if you care to, if you like comedy podcasts, go check us out.
That's awesome.
If not, well,
Chris Crespo did a Twisted 10 in here with us as well.
yeah, Chris Crespo did a great one. You guys had Scotch and Good Conversation
Yep.
in here. Peter, I love him. Peter's like my older brother of podcasting. He like whenever I do something stupid, which I do all the time, I'll say something dumb in an interview, and he'll hold me over the coals for it.
He had
I love
nothing
it.
but love to say for you, especially that night he was hosting in here. By the way, mention to you other guys in PFT Media that if they want a Twisted 10 episode, just to hit me up on Facebook
I
and
will
let me know.
spread the news.
Cool. Yeah. Promote PFT the whole time if you guys
There
want
we
to.
go. You know what? I mean, it's not about that. It's about, it's a little bit about doing that, but mainly it's about having fun. And I mean, to come on this show it's a fun show, and it's also an honor. So.
Oh, shucks, it was fun blushing
He's such a nice guy.
You're
man.
so getting laid by Tach tonight. You have no idea.
No. Yes.
We'll sleep on that comfy couch over there.
Yes, we will.
All right. Well, cool. You want to wrap up our show? Our side of the show?
Yeah, sure. You can follow us on Twitter at the Twisted 10. You can follow us, check out our Instagram. We have tons of pictures there. If you're wondering what Andrea Joy looks like,
Why me?
Oh, yeah.
because nobody
so
cares
gorgeous.
what us look at what we look like. Trust me.
Yeah, no.
Nobody cares.
She's just as pretty as she sounds.
Aww.
Beautiful
He can
girl.
come every week.
You want to just take my seat? Done. All right. I'll go sulk in the corner.
You can also follow us on Facebook as well.
Yep. And check out patreon.com/thetwisted10. Thank you for our one donor in there right now.
Why do you always gotta say that? You always gotta say it. Every week you say.
But all you got to
He's
do is
your
log on.
lead.
You'll see it as soon
well,
as the
let
person
them
types
log
it.
on and figure it out.
Yeah.
He's your lead. Like Tenacious D had one fan. That's your guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, that's by the way, that's Clay Groves with the Fish Nerds podcast.
That's true.
I tried to
Clay?
make that not sound edited. Clay Groves, Fish Nerd. I had to remember
Fish
Clay. I'm sorry,
Nerd.
Oh,
buddy.
I remember
Podcast.
that episode.
Yeah, dude, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
That was-
learned so much on that.
That was right before my last show.
He wants to come down here. I'm going to take him fishing out at Kennedy Space Center when he comes down here.
That's awesome.
There's some cool places out there that are unfished that, not many people get to go and fish those areas, and most of them are closed in like little lagoons. Oh, it's so cool.
Hell yeah. That's where you
Giant
get the
snook.
gator too.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot out there.
Well, thanks again, guys, for having me.
Yeah, dude.
It's so fun to come in here, and I hopefully I get to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always welcome back in here.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So on behalf of the Twisted 10, I am Adam.
I'm Tach.
I'm Andrea Joy.
And our guest for the night.
Rocky Socha.
Oh, yeah. Have a good night. See you next week.
Hey, remember we had that listener event?
Yeah. Our first ever listener event for Living Podcarously.
Yeah, 7/7/7, July 7th.
Giant success. In fact, we just gave Keith with the Children's Hunger Project his money from that event that we raised.
Indeed, we did. Hey, what was that beer that was donated for the event?
That was from Bug Nutty Brewery. That was called the Nutty Idiot. It was a medium-bodied lager. I don't remember the ingredients that they had in it, but man, it was good. We served 300 pours, all 300 possible pours that we could have out of their donation. We served very, very quickly that night.
Yeah, it had like an Asian flavor to it or something. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was interesting. It was cool, though. I loved it.
I think a little bit of a sesame flavor.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get that ingredient list from him. But yeah, that was really, really good. Our boy Ray Burrito also does comedy up there every third Thursday at Bug Nutty Brewery here on Merritt Island. He does the third Thursday comedy night up there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's a really cool list. It's every time I've been up there, it's amazing comics.
Nice.
Andrea, did you try the beer that night?
Oh, yes. It was wonderful.
She's not a beer drinker, can you tell?
Don't say it like that.
I wasn't standing at the game all night. I had plenty of time to drink beer.
Yeah, John and the guys over at Bug Nutty certainly hooked us up. So we want to send all of our listeners, if you're looking for a good microbrew, especially in Brevard County, there's a lot of them out there, and Bug Nutty is by far one of the best.
They are located at 715 North Courtney Parkway, Merritt Island. Give them a call at 321-452-4460 or email them at manager@bugnutty.com.
So hey, let's take a minute here to say a little something about. Remember our Dan Cummins Day?
We had him on both Living Podcariously and the Twisted Tin.
Well, when he was in studio.
When we had him here in studio.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, jet lag day.
Jet lag
That's
day
right.
for
That's right. She
Andrea.
got back
That's
from
right.
Italy. That's right.
Right. And we gotten that day catered for us.
That's right. We sure did.
And that was, what was it, Wagon Wheel Pizza.
Absolutely. Wagon Wheel Pizza down out of Palm Bay hooked us up.
Oh my God,
Just
it
to
was
keep
awesome.
my Italian vacation going, it was here when I got back.
Yes, it was.
It was awesome. It was quite a spread they gave us.
Yeah, they did. So we had, obviously, Dan Cummins was in studio with us. We also had the cast and crew from Burn It Down show, and we had Ray Burrito with Gallows Humor Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we had maybe 15, 18 people, whatever it was, in the studio that day, each doing their own recording sessions. Wagon Wheel catered not only for Dan to be here, but they also catered for every guest that we had that day.
Yeah.
So really big shout out to Wagon Wheel Pizza down in Palm Bay. Thank you guys so much for hooking us up. They had lasagna, spaghetti and meatballs,
Pizzas.
obviously pizza,
Wings.
and a gigantic salad that,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. Our group doesn't really eat salad.
What?
What's that all about?
That's weird. I think our whole entire group weighs about 6,000 pounds, so combined.
Hey, speak for yourself, buddy. But yeah, we definitely want to thank the guys down at Wagon Wheel Pizza for hooking us up. It was amazing food. If you are in the Brevard County area and want amazing Italian food, not only is it pizza, but it's all sorts of Italian foods, then be sure to check Wagon Wheel Pizza out.
Indeed, they have several locations, I believe.
I think we're just promoting the one.
I know.
You want to say their locations and their phone number and their website address?
Palm Bay.
You can find them.
Pizza.
You can find them.
Find them. You can...
Start again.
You can find Wagon Wheel Pizza at 1760 Palm Bay Road, Northeast Palm Bay. If you want to give them a call, let them know you're coming. It's 321-724-4769 or email them at info@thewagonwheelpizza.com.
You can also check out their full menu at thewagonwheelpizza.com. So make sure you include that "the" at the beginning. There's imitators. We don't want them to, get the credit here.
No.
Check them out.
Got it in him?
Yeah, I absolutely. I heard him on some show like Tonight Show or something. They had asked him like, "You ever going to come back and do stand up again?" And at first he was like, "I don't know." And
Does he write?
Yeah, I probably will. So-
Does he write or does he sit around and enjoy his millions?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm really wondering.
That's a good question.
I'm wondering if
I think he if he came back and did like a one night
he'd sell out. Paulo,
yeah,
wherever
he's still funny, whatever he's doing. You don't just lose that, know. But
But
anyway,
he's got to bring the shit and the fucks back.
Oh,
Stop
man.
doing Disney stuff and do like his original shit.
Disney keeps on paying a lot more than Netflix special.
I got
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it's bad. No, it's good that he did that, but he still doesn't have he still has the old him inside. So.
I'd like to see him come back and do another
probably
trilogy
got a
of
few
something.
dudes inside of him by now. Sorry.
He's that rich. Yes. Yes.
Speaking of gay comedian, no, I'm just kidding. Number 9,
Number 9.
Bill Maher, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I think he's twisted because, not only is he pretty mainstream, he's a late night guy. He's got his own show, Real Time or whatever, and he has crazy guests on all the time. He's not afraid of any topic. He hits like religion and politics and all that stuff like that, and he really does not care. He'll talk about it. He'll do whatever. But this dude did a lot of time in the comedy circuit. Like, he's got plenty of HBO specials. He did a long time just in little comedy clubs all over the world. I mean, he's put in his time. And one thing that I really like about him is, although some stuff I agree with him on a lot, and there's other stuff that I'm like, okay, wow.
Which way does he lean? Because I've watched.
He leans pretty left, but he's. I mean, when it comes to certain religions and stuff like that,
sure,
he's not that tolerant of, especially, like terrorism and extremism, in whether it comes from Christianity or any other religion.
It seems most of those late night guys are very, very liberal to me.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of right wing funny guys out there. I mean, I wonder how would work out. I mean, there's like right wing comedians online. There's like your Steven Crowders and what have you, out there. But
Crowder's pretty funny. Yeah, I'll give it to him. He's
but then
pretty
sometimes
funny,
I just like whatever he's talking about, he lands a little far from the mark as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, I disagree. I see where you're going, but whatever.
Yeah.
But at least he backed up his views on marijuana.
But what do you think? You said serial killer?
No, I'm just starting off with like a known killer, a comedy killer.
Oh, comedy killer. Okay, all right. I got you. Okay, so is that all you have to say about Eddie Murphy?
I mean, I could go on and on.
Well, I don't mean like I'm not looking for facts.
How does he do his laugh? The infamous. Yeah, it's something high. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not looking for more facts.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know if you had more to say.
I mean,
according to the list, I'm not looking for more facts.
No.
Okay, so I didn't want to come back.
Why would I even be bringing Eddie Murphy up, though? Any guess as to why?
The only thing I could think of is, does it have something to do with his transsexual thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that brave. Basically, I'm just doing, and I'm not really doing a top 10 because it would be impossible on this subject. Just like when I did the Simpsons episode, there's no top 10 facts. I'm just doing 10 twisted comics.
Nice.
And kind of the reasons that I'm, bringing them up. And of course, you could go on and on with, all the other comics in the world, the Anthony Jeselnik's, the Patrice O'Neill's, the Paul Mooney, all these, comics that really push the envelope. But really, these are just 10, and I just picked these out of kind of the blue because, but you could do this list 100 times over. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing 10 comics that were kind of twisted and push the envelope.
I like it.
Yeah.
All Andrea is beating the dogs off each other. Ooh,
beating the dogs off?
Wait a minute. Don't edit that out. Wait.
What?
What's she doing?
How? Wait, we're probably like 5 minutes in, market.
They were taking each other's bones.
What?
It was
taking each
so difficult. I saw her like beating him up with both hands. I mean, she was like trying to.
Was she ski poling him?
Wow.
Then
Think
I
about
started
it.
trying to hit you because you could have stopped him, and I'm like,
I was wondering why I was getting
And
hit.
then you were beating Adam. It's weird.
That was funny.
Oh Jesus, never mind. Yes.
No. That was great. This is better comedy than anything that I had planned. But Eddie Murphy, he just he got a lot of people that weren't probably gonna see stand up. He got him to see it, and he got him to see some stuff that was pretty freaking gnarly.
I remember seeing him when I was young. I was probably 12 or 13 when I saw
In a
that special
full
for the
leather
first time.
purple suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Eddie Murphy Delirious was awesome when I was a kid, man. I loved it.
Fucking hilarious.
But what I'm waiting for is for him to come back, at least do like a special, like Robin Williams did. He did this one night, come back. And
You think he's
Sponsorship with Living Podcariously or The Twisted 10 is not just about contracts or money. We like to form relationships with those who invest in our shows.
absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We only like representing companies or products that we can really get behind.
We met Kyle and Bianca from Oak and Iron Photography at an event from another sponsor of ours and immediately bonded with them because, let's face it, they're just awesome people.
Yeah, and if you came out to our Living Podcariously listener event, you may have seen them roaming around, taking some photos for us. They captured so much joy and emotion in those photos that night. It was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Now, Adam, I'm kind of a amateur photographer, so I can appreciate how difficult it really is to capture moments like that.
They shoot events of any kind. Weddings, lifestyle photos like maternity, couples, families, you name it. Not only do they capture moments that your grandmama will like, but they also put that oak and iron personal style and spin on what would normally be considered traditional photos.
Oh yeah, that Ring of Fire shot from our event was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Their photos not only capture the raw emotions, but when looking at them later, you are transported back to that day they were taken.
You'll see it on their website. They capture, quote, the real moments for the true at heart.
Nice.
Head on over to oakandironphoto.com to check out some of their work. Also, you can click the Contact Us button and get a quote of your own.
Go and check out oakandironphoto.com and let Kyle and Bianca know you heard about them from us.
TMRS 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle, Adam Poston, Jay Alvarez, and me, Andrea Joy.
And welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
Woot woot.
Happy joy, happy joy.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to our show. I am Adam. I'm one of your regular hosts. However, I'm not hosting this week. Sitting over there.
So now at this point, now that our audience is all caught up, now we have to throw the metaphor keys over to you, Rocky. So are you ready to catch them?
Yes.
Uh-oh, here they go.
Here he comes.
Here goes.
Lefty.
Oh, damn, he caught those with
him.
authority.
I got him. I was ready. I caught him last time too.
Did you? Yeah, Rocky may be the only
I know.
guest that's ever caught
Most
him.
people don't catch them. Like,
Let's
oh,
get
I
hit in
dropped
the
him.
face.
Or yeah.
No bullshit.
Yeah, Peter with Scotch and Good Conversation took him straight to the jaw. Tach's throw was right under there, and just,
Oh, I feel bad for him. I didn't realize. I thought Peter had an arm on him, but
I don't remember if he caught him or not. I don't think he did though.
I do love his show. It's a great one. You didn't hit the bell.
Oh, that's
There we
right.
go.
The bell.
Oh, there it is for Peter.
Okay.
Ding for Peter.
All right, guys. So let's go right into it. Okay, so all right, you guys are gonna guess from number 10.
Number 10.
Yes. Oh.
Eddie Murphy.
Right?
Eddie
Yes.
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Well, don't guess yet. Are we guessing now already?
No.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Already?
Yeah, or, I mean, I can go into what Eddie Murphy did that made him on the list.
Oh, there you go. Let's do that.
We can do that. All right, so I'm starting off with a killer, an iconic killer. He was basically, he was I guess he wasn't a shock comic, but he was for his day. In the 80s, everybody knew this guy, and he kind of pushed the envelope a lot of ways because so many people heard his specials, Raw, and all this other stuff that he did, and he was... Raw. He was kind of a savage. He liked his victims, quote unquote, the people that he would do comedy against. He would really humiliate them, and he would, make fun of his friends for being on welfare, and with the gay thing, he was always prancing around and making fun of that. And he was a great actor, but he really kind of, I think he helped progress. Being able to be funny just for the sake of being funny, and even being mean and being a dickhead, and that's kind of why Eddie Murphy's on this particular list.
yeah.
Any guesses?
I'm so confused.
I
I swear I
got this.
heard
This is
serial
easy.
killer in there.
No, this is
And
easy.
then victims.
Yeah.
This is
no,
easy.
he
I
was-
know what the list is.
Okay.
I know what the list is.
Okay.
Top 10 dudes celebrity dudes that Rocky wants to bang. That's what this is. I know it.
Black guys.
That might be an alternative name.
Andrea's
to the
going
list.
to get her food out of the kitchen, but she says black guys as she leaves. Racist. What?
Top 10 black guys. It's not that.
Okay.
And I am Tack, and I'm one of the regular hosts, but I also am not hosting this week either. Over there on the Lady Chase.
Hi, this is Andrea Joy, and of course I'm not hosting because I'm never doing it again.
Jay is no longer with us, and Josh is not in tonight. He's still
Mr. Wilson.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So that means it would be me, Rocky.
Yeah, that's right. Back by popular demand, and
really?
one of our best episodes that we've got for numbers.
Oh, stop it.
Mr. Rocky Socha.
Stop it.
With What's the Fuss podcast, man. How are
That's
you?
me. Thank you so much for having me, man. I love
Hell
this
yeah.
place. I'm glad to be back. I didn't think you were going to be having guests, back for multiple episodes, and I'm glad that I could do that.
Yeah, we went for a streak there. We went where we internally hosted, and it was one of Jay's last episodes. So we kind of let the internal cast kind of take another shot at it, and then we're back onto the guests. We're bringing them back in.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for having me,
and
man.
You brought a hard list to top, dude. I'm just saying. Last
you already know about it?
His last list, the Simpsons list.
Oh, you talked about last time. Yeah,
that was
Simpsons,
fun.
Yeah.
Man, I did way too much research for that. for basically 10 facts. I could have done 100. I really could have. And this list is just the same. I had a hard time coming down with what I want, but I loved a few episodes ago. You guys guessed the top 10 list with the first or with the 10th number, or
where you basically say, all right, number
yeah.
10, and you go through whatever the category, whatever you're doing, and then we try to guess the list.
Exactly. Do you guys want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me. Like I said, I guess we can just we can go right to the chase if you want.
Dude, that works.
Well, wait, we have to throw the metaphoric keys and also talk about if this is your first time.
You take that. You run with that this week.
Oh, boy.
I won't interrupt or I won't add to. How about that? I know it's a first, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, tell them what we do.
Okay, so if this is your first time listening to the Twisted 10,
This is my first time. Tell me all about it, Tach.
So what we do here is we come up with a original top 10 list, whether it's host created. I mean, well, it's all host create. Words are hard. Host created original top 10 list.
Like top 10 serial killers?
That's a great example.
Top 10 ways to peel a banana?
oh wait.
Well, that one might not have too much to it.
Can we watch that one?
No hands.
You video that one, Tech.
And what we do is we talk about each thing on the list. We discuss it. We break it down. We put it in a diaper. We slap its bottom. We send it on its way.
Top 10 diapers?
Top 10 diapers. Indeed.
No.